Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Timmy Collects here, and I'm back with another spitballing screenshot video. And this one's going to be over all the stuff that's going around regarding the TCG Pokemon space, being possibly turned into stocks, right? Being sort of turned into assets, treated like stocks in a way. I'm losing the word, son of a gun. But I was just thinking about that, listening to a couple podcasts here and there, and this totally reminds me of the cryptocurrency market when it started to get that sort of attention. If you're not familiar with the cryptocurrency market, around 2017, 2018, I think it was January 2018, no, December 2017, Bitcoin almost hit 20 grand. And at that time, I think I remember futures started in Bitcoin, which, long story short, a couple years later, it was found out that the futures were made to kind of rattle Bitcoin or straddle it, make sure it doesn't go up higher. Anyway, long story short, that's how it goes. That's what it was. Yada, yada, yada. Now, thinking about this, how Pokemon sort of gained the same attention. All it is, to be honest, is just that the government wants their hand. They just want a piece of the pie. They want a piece of this market pie, and they're seeing the popularity with the younger generation. Yeah, some of us old guys like myself, with like a little bit of money to spend or saving that. They love the hobby, whether they grew up with it or not, or they just see it as an investment, like I do, right? Because I didn't really I knew of Pokemon, but I never bought into it, right? Not till recently, right? So seeing that investment, it kind of gathers my eye. But all it is just that the government wants their hand in the pie, and how they're gonna go about it. If it's gonna be sealed, or they're gonna be serialized boxes to keep track of, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's definitely gonna take some time, and it's definitely gonna have like a lot of conversation. So what I did was, I just went on Chat GPT or my Google AI, whatever, just try to do some kind of comparisons regarding like the TCG Pokemon market cap compared to like Bitcoin's in the past couple of years, right? So the first thing I did was, what is the estimated market cap of the TCG market? And it came back with the global trading card game TCG market size is estimated between 7.4 billion and 15 billion, depending on how narrowly or broadly analysis define physical, digital, and sports related segments, right? So it says market valuation and projections, current value estimated 7.4 to 15 billion, future outlook expected to reach 16 to 30 billion by 2035, so roughly it's going to go up, freaking double. Growth rate, growing at a compound annual growth rate, or a CAGR, of roughly 6.9 to 10% a year, which is crazy. So it's going to average anywhere between, I'm going to say 5 to 10, or 5 to 8, right? Generous per year. Core market segments, physical TCGs commands a dominant share, around 69% of the market, driven by traditional tabletop play and heavy collector demand. The leading franchise is Pokemon. You can consider that like TCG's Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is a big dog of cryptocurrency. North America represents the largest. Okay, and then I put now compare that to the crypto market, right? And so it's saying the global cryptocurrency market cap at this time is 2.2 to 2.3 trillion dollars. Crazy, right? Making it roughly 150 to 300 times larger than TCG. And there it has like a comparisons, trading card, TCG 7 to 15 to 2.2 trillion. At all-time high, TCG's slowly going up and up and right. If you're looking at a graph, it's up and to the right. Bitcoin reached almost 4.3 trillion of October of last year. The individual leader, meaning like the main one, so Pokemon's like the big goat, or like the big dog of TCG. And I would assume that Magic's the next one, right? It's like the cryptocurrency's Ethereum. Bitcoin's 50% dominance of the market, which is nuts, right? Market cap leader 1 billion to 1.8 billion, and Bitcoin's 1.3 trillion. So Pokemon would be anywhere between 1 billion to 1.8 billion of the total market cap of TCG, and Bitcoin's 1.3, and of course physical, right? And then I did indicate what was Bitcoin's market cap in 2020. It was 130 billion, right? And it ended at almost 500 billion. Almost 540 billion. And I was kind of trying to compare at this time. When I think it was this time right now, it's like, okay, when was Bitcoin's market cap the same as what TCG is this today? And so, how much was Bitcoin when the crypto market was 10 billion? So I kind of put it in the middle. They said that 10 billion milestone was late November, December 2013. Bitcoin was trading between $800 and $1,100 a coin roughly, and right now it's trading about $65,000, right? The 10 billion milestone, okay, late 23rd, whatever. Mind-blowing perspective, then and now, perfect. Then I was like, compare the TCG market and the crypto market from the past 10 years. All right. 2016, TCG was 2.5 to 3 billion. Crypto was 18 billion, right? 18 billion in 2016. Holy crap. That's almost just like what, the top of TCG is. So if you go back 10 years, 18 billion and went to 2.2 trillion. Now, I'm not saying that the TCG market is going to even come close to that, which I highly doubt it's going to come close to the whatever the trillion it is right now. But the fact that the big wigs and government is actually putting a spotlight on this, what it's going to do, I think it's going to light a fire under the butt of the TCG market all as a whole. Now, take it with a grain of salt, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but just knowing people and just like read stocks and reading all that market talk stuff, like on the financial side or whatever. This totally reminds me of like the cryptocurrency market in the young ages before it started to get real popular in demand. Now, don't get me wrong. Pokemon has been like the best investment like the past 5 or 6 years or something like that compared to anything, even Bitcoin itself, right? Except for like some few meme coins or one-off stocks or whatever, right? Nvidia, right? Stuff like that. But if the government is putting a spotlight on this, what it's going to do? It's going to make other people want to come in and buy and just hold, right? Just buy and hold. Don't get me wrong. They're going to come in. There's people that are going to come in and have lettuce hands and not be able to hold, for a long time. The lettuce is going to get weak. They're going to drop it, right? They're going to drop their bag, and somebody else is going to pick it up. So, the 10-year growth from TCG over 2016 has been 3 to 5 times, and cryptocurrency has been 126,000, right? The all-time highs 2026 for TCG, and of course for crypto's 2025. The volatility, like they're still saying that TCG is low to moderate, which I think it's just as risky or it's not risky as crypto. Of course, crypto's risky as all hell. Oh my god, you can just put. But the thing is, you gotta think about it like this: if you're buying, cardboard to invest, you should think about it the same way you're buying stocks or like crypto to invest. You can, like if I'm gonna put $100 into whatever, I might as well just like tear that $100 up in front of me because once I invest, it's there forever. It's gone. It's gone, right? The primary crash catalyst, market overprinting and grading backlog in 2022, and this is the institutional liquidations and macro interest shifts 2022 to 2026. Now, that's funny though because it doesn't talk about the 4-year cycle, but that's a totally different story. So yeah, the 3 definitive eras of the past 10 years: TCG, crypto, the great pandemic, of course. Crypto went down, TCG went up, all that stuff. Institutions, resiliency, and convergence, crypto, yeah. So anyway, long story short, governments, if they're looking at Pokemon as assets, they want money. They want their hand in it. And if that ever happens, if Pokemon ever gets considered an asset like property, like Bitcoin, right? I know Bitcoin they're trying to fight for, to be money. I get it, right? There's a whole, we can go on forever about that. But once they categorize Pokemon as assets, they can make ETFs off of this. Can you see a freaking prismatic SBC box ETF? It's gonna be nuts. And like what that means is like those companies actually have to physically own the boxes of the SPCs, right? Just like whenever they make an ETF stock of certain companies like baskets, they have to physically own those baskets, right? So that will definitely take stuff out of circulation, right? So I don't know. I was just spitballing this today. I was just kind of just thinking about it, and for whatever reason, I happened to just come into the market about a month or two ago, but like a month ago, maybe just check my videos. I think I'm kind of lucky. I think I'm really lucky to finally get into this market. Now I'm not gonna be able to go full steam ahead and just like FOMO into everything, but I'm gonna slowly buy and accumulate and stack, and wherever space may take me, and go from there. I just thought it was a fun little thing just to like kind of share with you guys. And if not, yeah, we'll see what happens, right? But just imagine if this can happen, if they actually do come and say, oh, the TCG market as a whole is an asset class now, it's going to be nuts. Because then you're going to have ETFs, and then you're going to have, people holding, Pokemon in their 401k because whatever company that they invest in has an ETF, whatever that holds Pokemon cards. Oh, it's gonna be freaking nuts. Of course, it's gonna be, if this happens, it's gonna be many years down the line, 10, 15 maybe, because it took Bitcoin that long. Actually, yeah. Anyway, I'm going too crazy. But other than that, yeah, check it out, look it over, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.